Virgos, welcome and welcome back to the Honey Sea Star Tarot, and welcome to the Super Harvest Full Moon, the Super Beaver Full Moon in Taurus, November 5th here. Now, let me tell you, this is the brightest, the most powerful full moon of 2025. You're going to feel this energy. There is this moment of clarity. There is this rebirth of value. And in this super full moon, it's where there's this shedding of the hidden to allow the manifested. Before we get started, I just also want to say thank you guys so much for all your love and support, all the ways that you lift this channel up, lift each other up, lift me up, truly. You guys mean the world. Each and every one of you guys make the difference. You make my heart melt, and I love you back. So, welcome to the super full moon in Taurus. This full moon will come to its peak as of approximately about 8:19 Eastern Standard Time in the morning of November 5th. So change that around to wherever you are in the world. But this energy window, actually, you should have already been feeling this energy. This energy window actually takes place all the way, it began on the 3rd, and it'll take place all the way through November 10th, right before the Awakening Gate portal on November 11th. So stay tuned for that as well. But this full moon, this energy, because it's the closest and the brightest to Earth in all of our supermoons of 2025, it is also the most powerful because of it, and the most powerful supermoon of the year. It's going to be amplifying emotions, bringing simmering feelings to the surface for you to address. And because it's exalted in Taurus as well, the lunar energies of emotion, oh my goodness, thank you. The lunar energies of emotions, instinct, and receptivity will be emphasized. And they'll be emphasized in this positive way of influence, especially with that exaltation here. So right away, coming in with the Cosmo Oracles, we kind of had a lot spill out here, but this is where right away, especially with what comes up to the surface, stop caring about what others think. You've got your life to live. There's one life that you're living. It's yours. It's yours to love, and it's yours to embrace with all your vibrancy in each and every day and in each and every moment. And that is what the Taurus super full moon actually really truly reminds us of. It's finding that beauty in the simplicity. Stop looking outside yourself for the answers. You already know what it is, right? You already know them. And two, remember, forgiveness is not about allowing others necessarily back into your life. That's reconciliation. Forgiveness sets you free. Do it for yourself. Take your power back. Stop dimming your light for anyone else. Stop giving that power away. And also, too, especially with the super full moon, because there is going to be this connection with the inner stability as well as with your relationships, with expansion, with expressive aspects in how you bring love, beauty, and prosperity into your life, especially with Venus here, because Venus rules Taurus. Someone is in need of your love during this super full moon. This is the time to offer it to them. And when you find something that excites you, go all in and enjoy it. Enjoy the ride for every moment, every surprise that it's going to be bringing you. Because this super full moon in Taurus is also going to be hitting our 9th house. That's our house of expansion, our house of adventure. We just had Mars step into Sagittarius. In our 4th house, we've got the explorer bringing the fiery truth to home and family. And now we've got this Taurus full moon, which is all about that home, that comfort, how you define that value to you, what you hold most dear, especially with being ruled by Venus. So with this full moon, it's going to be bringing this positive wave of grounding energy for manifestation. Like I said before, it's all about shedding what's hidden to allow the manifested. So it's going to be bringing this emotional clarity, bringing balance between comfort and transformation, release and renewal, values and abundance. And with Taurus being ruled by Venus, our planet of love, beauty, prosperity, money, security, all the finer things in life, what we hold most dear, what the heart cherishes most. This super full moon is going to be bringing blessings, and it's going to be bringing focus on what truly brings you joy, Oh, look at that. The sun flipped out there too. That's wonderful. Oh my goodness. It's going to be focusing on what truly brings you that joy, that fulfillment, that self-worth, that self-love, self-acceptance, and the connections that we cherish and hold most dear. And if that resonates for you, by all means, let me know in the comments below. Put a heart in the comments below. Share your thoughts, what you're releasing, what you're bringing into culmination. We'll get into this as well, because there's some degrees playing here. Because this super full moon, spoiler alert, I can't resist, is coming in at 13 degrees. It's got this nurturing, divine feminine energy to it. The seeds that you plant, let me tell you, we'll talk about it. So this is where you're truly looking at the connections that you cherish, hold most dear, and that includes with yourself. Everything that brings fulfillment to you, contentment, joy, wonder, peace, love. In this Taurian energy, this full moon is going to encourage you to truly slow down and appreciate the blessings in your life itself. Connect with your inner stability and your inner grounding, and connect with the earth, all the seeds that you plant, all that you create, all that you manifest, and your connections, and what truly brings you value, safety, and security, both in your material world and in your relationships. So it's also going to be bringing, I will say, this beautiful moment of clarity on your goals and what you want, especially as it pertains to your career and in your professional life. So we'll talk about that as well. In all of this, in this moment of clarity that it's bringing you, this epiphany that's going to feel like this, like, weight's been lifted from you, this like epiphany that really sets you free. This is where this full moon is going to be renewing your optimism, boosting your confidence, making it easier to move towards your goals. And with the sun in Scorpio, not surprised that the sun came out here as well, there will be this strong grounded and ungrounded dynamic. It's going to present this axis or axes of what we cling to versus what we must release, basically. So there's this polarity aspect involved with it. It's going to emphasize your inner, finding inner steadiness amid change, discernment and distinguishing what should be preserved versus the attachments, the emotional baggage, our outdated beliefs even, that are no longer serving our highest good. And it happens to be, I know I already put it out there and I spoiled it, but it happens to be at 13 degrees. Our divine feminine energy. It provides this nurturing degree that asks us to truly look at our foundations, materially in finances, resources in the body, in the home, spiritually, emotionally, in what you count on, what you believe, what makes you feel secure, safe, your beliefs, your identity, your roles, your attachments. It's going to be asking you to look at all of it and how it relates to what makes you feel safe and secure, what makes you feel provided for, what brings in love, beauty, makes you feel fulfillment, joy, contentment, prosperous as well. What served you? And more importantly, what has now been weighing you down? So, with the sun coming in right away, this is jubilation. It's asking you with all the enthusiasm that this full moon amplifies, especially with it being the biggest, brightest, most powerful supermoon in all of 2025, what truly lights you up? What fulfills you? What makes you connect or feel connected to source? What rejuvenates you? What gives you confidence, compassion, material wealth, health, attainment? What makes you feel that glory that makes you dance under this full moon, right? It's asking you all of these questions. What do you want most out of life? What does your heart, your soul call to most for your highest good, your highest timeline, your highest ascension, living your best life? With the 19, this is reducing to new beginnings, fresh starts, the birth of everything, but also too with the 9, completions, right? Attainment of your goals that drive you to the success of jubilation, and also to allowing that surrender to let your intuition lead the way. This is where with the King of Swords coming out right away in reverse, it's going to be asking you what's been weighing you down. What have you been carrying, right? Whether it be abusive power struggles in your relationships, Ulterior motives or malice, ruthless action that's really weighed your heart, prevented you from really sitting in that high vibrational energy. What I'm seeing here as well is that it could have a masculine influence, a negative influence of some sort of a masculine figure in your life, authority figure in your life, especially with it being a king, that's really kind of upended your root chakra, right? Really rocked your world in a lot of ways when it comes to your foundation, shaken your foundational beliefs, your core, how you relate to people, your identity in a lot of ways, the roles that you have, your attachments. It's going to ask you to really look at all of those negative expressions, where it's been influenced for the negative as well. And instead, pour your heart into it with the Four of Pentacles. So the Four of Pentacles really looks at the Midas touch, right? What you touch turns to gold. What's prevented you from building that? Turning what you touch into gold, where you can do anything that you put your mind to in your life. What's prevented that when it comes to your foundations, your stability? What makes you feel safe? What's prevented discipline in your life, right? What's prevented order? What's shaken up that chaos and thrown it into your life? Made you feel a lack of security? Also too, especially with the king coming out in reverse like this, or like it had, what I see in a lot of ways, because he also has a crown, right? And you can see he's kind of got this miserly aspect to him. Somebody basically that was an authority figure, some sort of an authority figure, masculine in some way. This is where, as you can see, he is kind of hoarding in some ways. So there was somebody that was intentionally had the resources to offer you, right? Had the resources to help you. There was somebody that refused, right? And in some ways, it made you stronger. In a lot of ways, it made you who you are. It gave you the opportunity to build your foundation without any type of aspect of leaning on a character that was too possessive, that was too controlling. This is where, even though at the time it was an uphill battle, it was not easy. The full moon is going to be bringing up all of these emotions, especially with your relationships. This is where, in fact, that road that was unpaved, that you paved yourself, led you to your fortune, your prosperity, your control, your emotional coherence as well. And it led you on a path to build your own wealth without the need of somebody else having to give it to you or having control over it is what I'm getting the most. So with this full moon, especially with that masculine energy coming out right away, we've got it in our 13th degree, divine feminine energy. This is nurturing energy to heal that type of masculine energy. And what I'm getting most is even at like the macro level, traditionally we've lived in a very masculine world, a masculine driven world, not trying to bring this into a sexism kind of situation. However, this is signifying a point at a macro level where it's the rise of the divine feminine. It provides this nurturing degree to truly heal and to heal with kindness and compassion, right? To lead with kindness and compassion, to really look at things where we are all stronger together, rather than looking at where somebody hoards everything for themselves and gives very little. This is where you're understanding that law of attraction, law of reciprocity. So with the divine feminine number being highlighted here, this nurturing degree is going to be asking you to look at your foundations materially, in finances, resources, in the body, the home, spiritually, right? Looking at all of it. And then looking at what's been exalting you versus what's been weighing you down. And with the numerology aspects with it, where you can unite, where you can begin in that 3 of creation with synergy, coming together to ground, to build your foundation with that 4, with the 13 divine feminine energy, that healing, nurturing energy of the seeds that you plant, giving and receiving. Charity with your community because we're stronger together, right? That Taurian energy where when everybody wins. What comes to mind really most, especially with food, is especially in areas of food insecurity. So when I lived up north, I was very surprised that, especially coming from a rural farming community, there's always so much. There's always room to share, right? And so I was very blessed, but in some ways I was naive to areas that had food insecurities. So when I moved up north and I got to experience like how there was all this food shortage, the mentality difference was a good learning opportunity for me. And so where I came from an area where it was like, what if I, especially working for an organic cooperative, what if I told you, crazy idea, that we actually overproduce our food to the point where we actually cause loss, not shortage. We have so much abundance that we cause waste with food. It's not that we don't produce enough. It's that we don't transport it or provide it to the areas that are unbalanced. So it's not a question of amount, it's a question of balance, reciprocity, bringing in those shadows, highlighting where there's deficiencies, and learning truly that when we know that we have enough for everyone, when we're able to provide as a collective, we become and build a stronger foundation in all of our resources, in all of our contentment, and also too in all of the energy of the input. All of us live with that renewable energy source towards abundance, with harmony, symmetry, integration, also too reciprocity. This 13 degree is going to be amplifying all of that. And I will also say, it's going to be amplifying the Taurus-Scorpio axis between the sun and the moon. So when you think about it, the sun in Scorpio, this is passion and power, life source, like sustenance in that scorpionic energy. And then now you've got Taurus with the moon. That's your emotions, right? Especially when it looks at your values, your love, the love of the simplicity, the love towards what you're building, your grounding, your foundation. So with this axis, and it's with it being highlighted and amplified even further by this 13 degree, and having all of this energy be closer to the Earth than any other moon in 2025, there's going to be this interplay. It's this transformation that's happening between between what's beneath the surface meeting your grounding, meeting your manifestation in the body and in your life. So with all these energies coming together, and like I say, there's this window from November 3rd all the way to November 10th. It's not going away. We're going to feel this energy. And it won't just be us Virgos. We'll talk about some other signs too and how to work with this energy. But this is where, with all these energies coming together, this full moon is going to amplify, shedding what's hidden to allow the manifested. It's this culmination point. And in it, it provides a powerful opportunity to plant seeds and cultivate what brings you comfort, what you value most, what you align to, what you're called to most, what brings you the security you seek in life, and most importantly, especially with it being the Beaver super full moon and the Harvest super full moon, what you harvest, and ensure that what you harvest is what you've been working for. And in all the seeds that you plant, it's going to offer you this big liberation, this big freedom in understanding your truth. This is where you're looking at social justice, sharing with others, right? Imparting knowledge and experience, financial management, looking at how to balance the scales, lead with fairness, equitability. And with the Eight of Pentacles, this is especially tied to your education, sharing your knowledge. We'll talk about it. Sharing your talent, your craft, your art. Also to developing and growing, being open to receiving that imparting knowledge from others as well, so that we all walk towards abundance together in all our aspirations, all our long-term goals, with our feet firmly planted and grounded, and with the passion of the sun, soul's temple, the energy source, our life, the seeds that we plant in that energy, with our solar plexus wide open. That is being inspiration in action. Knowing that you're enough. You always have been. Walking towards your stability. You have what it takes. You have everything within you to create the stability, the prosperity, the justice, the power, and reap the harvest in your life. You've got the strength to succeed in your fortuity and in your discernment, to release what weighs you down, what's hidden beneath the surface, and unveil, allow the manifested, right? So this is kind of going into like the laws of manifestation. This is where it's like sometimes when we try so hard, especially with the lower expression of Virgos with control, and our South Node is there. Let's just be real. So This is where it's like when you surrender and let flow, that's when life happens, right? That's when the manifestations come in. This full moon is going to allow you to release whatever has weighed you down so that you can truly surrender and allow what you've manifested to truly come into fruition, into tangible results. And like I say too, it's this culmination point. It's going to provide this powerful opportunity where the seeds that you plant, that you've been cultivating, especially with the last 6-month cycle between the new moon in Taurus that happened in April and now, to really align and see that harvest come in, see those tangible results really come to fruition. And it's going to feel liberating. It's going to feel like freedom. And it's going to feel like understanding your truth and being honored with it, being honored for it. This is a full moon that is a harvesting moment. So where things, where you've been nurturing, the things that you've been nurturing, I guess is what I should say, they're going to be finally showing their value. And they're going to be exalted in their value. They're going to be lifted up, not only with you and knowing like you're on the right path, what you do truly matters to others, more importantly to yourself. It's what fills you up. And this is where it's like you're finally finding that balance, right? Particularly if you've been feeling weighed down. Particularly if you've got your hands full, if you've been dipping into many different areas, right? If you've been multitasking, this is like everything aligning in harmony. We're going with the flow where it happens naturally. The creation and the flow of it happens on an intuitive level, happens on a subconscious level, where you're not necessarily trying to force it, right? You're letting it go and letting it flow. This is where the tangible results start to happen. And this full moon is lighting that up. So this is where you're going to be seeing a lot of not only what you do, what you've been nurturing, show their value, but manifest in tangible ways. I will say as well, especially because the moon is like amplified like no other full moon in 2025, trust your intuition. This is the time where when it comes to making decisions about your relationships, your future, under this lunation, they're going to be spot on. Trust your gut. Follow that flow, that inner knowing. For Virgos as well, this full moon is going to be falling within our 9th house. That's our house of expansion, higher learning, personal philosophy. There's this explorer energy. And if you haven't seen the Mars and Sagittarius video, I'm just saying, there's this explorer energy, especially between the two of them. And mind you too, we also have Mercury, our ruler, in Sag in our 4th house. Fire, explorer of truth. There is something here between all of this energy. And I will say too, Venus is changing signs tomorrow. Stay tuned. I'm going to do a separate video. But with all of this tied together, this culmination point as well, with the full moon falling in our 9th house of expansion, it's going to push you into expanding your horizons. It could lead you to a different way of thinking that challenges your usual practical approach to life. It'll invite you to find wisdom in the simple, or in the simplicity, and in the simple lived experiences rather than complex theories. It'll encourage you to pursue your curiosity and expand your knowledge. It'll also encourage you to trust life, and explore without letting fear and worry hold you back in the details. And if that resonates, by all means, let me know in the comments below. Put a heart in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe so that we can get this video out to the ears that need to hear it. For this full moon, so we can all take advantage of this energy, because it's going to feel like a bit of a wake-up call that lets you breathe. It's a breath of fresh air, and it's filling your wings up so that you can fly. At the same time, too, I will also say it's going to be helping with grounding you, with how you see your big picture, especially with all this expansive, explorative energy, adventurous energy. I will also say, too, especially with it being tied with the new moon in Taurus that happened about April 27th, this is the time to truly ask yourself, especially with all this explorative, fiery energy from Mars, the Taurian energy with that grounding energy, the Scorpionic energy with the sun. This is the time to truly ask yourself, what's happened in the last 6 months in how you see your future, how you see your career, how you define your fulfillment, how you define your truth, how you define your goals, the work that you put into your goals, how you apply yourself to those, how you manage your responsibilities, right? How you manage your finances with financial gain, how you manage manifesting your goals through hard work. This is the time, especially with the Jupiter-Saturn trine that's going on as well. Saturn's rewarding you for hard work. This is where with the Seven of Coins, that Scorpio sun is assuring you that your hard work will pay off. And this full moon is the culmination point where you're seeing those tangible results. Your patience is paying off. Your manifestations are paying off. This is the time to truly reap and receive. Breathe and receive your rewards. So, especially as you look at like how you see your career, how you define your fulfillment, how you define your truth, how you define which direction you're headed, where you're going, where you want to go, what you want your future to look like. This full moon, everything that you've been working for in the last 6 months, everything that's been opening your eyes to all of those energies, all of those philosophies, all of those beliefs, all of those manifestations. This full moon is going to be helping you with solidifying all of it and grounding yourself in those feelings, those beliefs, those directions, and your contentment. So many of you could be embracing, I will just say, this spirit of adventure and embracing the experiences that you've dreamed of doing, that you've always wanted to do, that you've been working toward, right? Or new doors that have been coming in that have really planted a seed of like, that sounds interesting. What if I explored that? This is going to push you in that direction. So it could be where it's like you're finally booking that trip to a foreign country that you've always wanted to go to, right? To swim in that ocean and finally taste the salt in, I don't know, wherever you want to go. Tahiti, out of the blue there. Or Hawaii, there we go. But this is where it's like every experience that you've dreamed of wanting to do, this is where it's going to push you to finally taking those actions, right? And I will say Mars in Sagittarius will also be pushing you in the same way. So this could be finally booking that trip. If you've been thinking about like what it would be like to live in a different country, experience a different community, experience a different place that you've always been drawn to, always been called to, that truly fills you up with that experience and essence of magic, right? That connects you to the earth, to that area, whatever and wherever it is. This could be where you're finally taking that leap, that decisive action. And I will say it again, it's time to trust your intuition. Whatever your intuition has been pushing you towards, this is the time to listen. So also too, especially when it comes to learning new things, opening your mind. This is expansive energy, especially when it comes to mindset. So you could be diving into a new course of study. Also too, if you've been working towards mastery and some kind of gift that you've got to share with the world that you've always been developing, that comes inherently, that you've been called to, that really truly fills you up in that abundance, in that feeling of prosperity, right? That comfort when it comes to contentment, you could be embarking also too, transitioning a role where you're moving into a teaching role, especially when it comes to your area of expertise. Also too, you could even be having that conversation that fundamentally changes your perspective on the world, with yourself, how you see yourself, with others, and with how you see others too. So I'll say it again too, with Mars and Mercury both in Sag in our 4th house at this time, there could also be, because the home and family are so highlighted, so amplified as well under this energy, because there is this conjunction, right? So there could be, and I will say too, we've got this grand water trine highlighting your partnerships. Just putting it out there. And your long-term goals with Jupiter. And also too, we've got Saturn here. That's your legacy. That's your wealth. That's your abundance, blessings, your, most largest aspirations. So there could be something, especially with this tie to your home, to your family, to location, to exploration and adventure, that's going to align you physically with where you've been called to, mentally with where you've been called to, spiritually with where you've been called to, And I will say it's going to be highlighting some emotional revelations related to family dynamics. It's going to open an opportunity to communicate about them very honestly with yourself and with others. This is going to open a door that's going to allow you to truly shift old narratives when it comes to how you define security, how you feel secure, like about security, what makes you feel safe and secure. Beyond just our sun sign exposure to it this full moon, if you have any planets that are basically, any planets basically are points in your chart that are between 9 and 17 degrees, particularly if they're in Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, or Aquarius, we'll get into it. This full moon is going to touch you even more deeply, even more intensely. This is where you're looking at the reconciliations that you need to find that inner balance, that inner healing, achieving that harmony that truly lets you stand forward and step forward in your truth and open that sacral energy of creative flow with your craft, right? And we've got the 14. This is new beginnings focused on your foundation. And they also lead up to change. This is dynamic change, especially with this expansive energy. It's unexpected change too. So there could be a surprise involved with this. Just saying. And it's going to light you up on the Fool's journey with that crown chakra. This healing, though, is really going to be highlighting and looking at like where there's been mismanagement, where there's been inflexibility that's held you back, right? Especially when it's been painting this false sense of security that's actually led towards a bad sense of health or manifested as bad health, particularly when it comes to anything in your foundation, right? That's left you with disappointment. Maybe there's been delusionment where you're not looking at your foundation in the right ways or in the way that basically it feels secure in the short run, but it doesn't lend itself to really manifesting that way in the long run. This is going to be a culmination point, the super full moon, where it's truly about beginnings. And with the November 5th date, I mean, this is mastery and change, right? You're at this point where you're ready for that new beginning, for that change, new ideas, new creativity, new positivity, new seeds planted in your life that allows you to stand in your personal power and truly build on stable foundations, stable roots in a place that truly has that fertility, that nurturing fertility as well, with the divine feminine 13 degree. So let's get into it. So if you've got any placements, like I say, between 9 and 17 degrees, you're going to feel this. If you have any Taurus placements, you may feel anchored or called to reflect on what you've built, what needs, what things that you've built need grounding, or even too, what need restructuring, what hasn't been working, where there's adjustments and refinements that are truly calling you. It's going to help you with seeing how your values have evolved and, more importantly, find the confidence in your new direction. Now, if you've got any Scorpio placements like me, I'm a Scorpio rising. Oh, thank you. This is also going to help you, or direct your focus rather, I should say, towards basically your relationships. And remember, I'll say it again, we've got this grand water trine focusing on your relationships. We've got Mars and Mercury focusing on home and family. It's kind of there. And the sun, in Scorpio. There's that. In our third house, communication. There's that. Our social structures are truly lit up at this time. So if you've got any Scorpio placements like me, you're going to feel this deep emotional tide in intimacy and power dynamics. And two, you're going to feel the emotional tide of the hidden emotional truths. It's going to allow you to truly open up the door for deeper intimacy and deeper emotional honesty with yourself and with others. And partnerships don't have to just be your significant other, right? That involves, especially with the sun in our third house, we've got our north node, the grand water trine lighting up our 7th house, as well as our 11th house. So this could be close neighbors, your mailman. This could be friendships, coworkers, bosses even too, especially with that scorpionic energy. It could be significant other partners, just saying, could be marriage partner or marital partners, could be your like boyfriend, girlfriend, your whoever's closest to you. Also too, could be family members, siblings, especially with that third house. With the fourth house, this could be parental figures, aunts, uncles, grandparents, all of it. It's going to touch you and touch you at this level and allow you for this deeper intimacy and emotional honesty. So this is where that's kind of playing. Now with the Empress that pulled out 50-50 here. It speaks to the third house quite a bit. It also speaks to the growth, the progression, the dynamic balance, and finding that development in your projects, in your ideas, in your relationships. On the flip side, this is where it's like you're looking at all the self-limiting beliefs, all the conflicts, all the difficulty when it comes to bringing your manifestations into conception, right? If there's been weakened maternal energies that have brought you out of balance, brought you out of being connected with nature, this full moon is going to amplify where you see the simple beauties, right? Where you truly call in your success, build your material wealth. Also, too, where you stand in that divine feminine energy, what you nurture, right? The seeds that you plant, the love that you give, the creativity that allows you to truly manifest in everything that you build. And two, it's going to be looking and focusing at your on your resources, right? It's going to be asking you to look at those foundations. Now, if you have any Leo placements as well, there is going to be a spotlight with this full moon that will shine on your career and your public image. So your hard work may very well be being seen and illuminated very brightly, very powerfully with this full moon. So check your placements for Leo. This is where everything that you've worked for, you're being seen, you're being honored. You could also find that new creative opportunities are being open to you or being aligned with you under this full moon. You're being brought and held up with the value that you offer, with the value that you give. And there's somebody that's seeing that and recognizing that and basically trying to align with you. Provide this opportunity that is a win-win solution, but it truly exalts you with this Taurian energy. If you have any Aquarian energy or Aquarian placements, this is where your attention will turn to your home and family life. So check your placements for Aquarian or Aquarius energy. What houses they fall in as well, I should say, for all of these placements will really tie to what focal points that they uncover, what they bring up, right? It's shedding the hidden to allow the manifested. So whatever house they fall in, whatever house these planets fall in as well, pay attention to that because it's going to have focal points that are really focused and revolving around your abundance, value, what brings you comfort, safety, security. It's going to be different for each and every one of us depending upon your chart. But for Aquarius, so with your attention turned to home and family life, it's going to prompt you to question how you relate to stability, how you relate to material values. You may find that you need to address some buried emotional issues or redefine altogether what home means to you. And it's going to allow you, this full moon is going to allow you to really connect with it on a deeper spiritual and emotional level. This is where your intuition is going to be tapped in. And with the 13th degree as well, it's going to bring out that inner healer, that inner nurturer within you, that divine feminine energy, especially with the Queen of Cups. This is where it's like you're looking at what you've defined as home in the past, maybe what has been buried emotionally and cut you off or blocked your ability to really stand in that divine feminine energy, right? Of kindness, warmth, empathy, where there's been lack of that. What's, how to put it, what's kind of muddied the purity and thought when it comes to what it means to you, home, love, your dreams. And this full moon is going to allow you to truly open up this door to cleanse that energy, to once again stand in your creativity, but stand with charisma when it comes to leading with compassion, as well as adapting, seeing the light and the dark through the gray, if that makes sense, especially as it ties to the home, to the root chakra, right, to your foundation. And you're looking at everything that was built on sand, and you're redefining all of it. You're letting that shed away so that you can truly manifest the home that truly calls to you, that exalts your emotions, your intuitions, your feelings, that lights your spirit and your desire up, and two, heals and connects that inner self with your relationships, especially with Aquarian energy. Sometimes that Aquarian energy really cuts itself off inadvertently or can come across to others as cold. But on the inside, let me tell you, they are so deep and they are so colorful and they are so compassionate, but to express that can be difficult. This is going to tap you in to allow you to truly communicate that depth, share that depth in your home and with your family. Now, on a physical level, this super full moon is going to affect us on a physical and health level too, just saying. So with Taurus rules the throat and also the neck. So you could be, like I say, there's a lot going on with communication. It's going to also manifest in the body as well, not only just with your words or with your vocalization. So this is where also too, Taurus is tied to the value of the body. So you may notice tension in your neck or your throat. And two, you may also feel the need to ground yourself with yoga, with meditation, something that truly gets you into the body, into the temple of your body. So getting out in nature, grounding yourself physically, connecting yourself with the abundance of the earth. Also too, that goes with your digestive tract as well. Grounding yourself with the food that you take in. Fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, especially during this harvest season. You'll probably be called to making that, I don't know, butternut squash soup really comes to mind for me, but maybe like mixing it up and doing like a little bit of like the, I don't know if there's a name for this, but I love doing this because I grow many squashes, but you have to be careful because you can grow some squamtions if you grow too close to each other or grow them too close to each other. But I like to have a variety in the garden. So if you've got some acorn, if you've got a delicata, if you've got a butternut squash, try this because it's fantastic. But I do this soup where it's kind of like this medley of all three of them together, and it's got this perfect sweetness with that delicata. It's got this richness from the acorn squash, and then it also has this butteriness, right? Again, with the rich part, I add hazelnuts as well because I can't resist. But either way, it's like this perfect blend of like sweet and savory all together. Try it. Just saying, don't knock it till you try it. But this is where you may find yourself called to really like getting out those Brussels sprouts, getting the squash ready, especially if you've brought it in, saved it from the frost, cooking down some of it rather than storing it because you can't resist. Just saying. This is that day to do it, or this full moon energy is the time to do it rather as well. This is where I will also say with this super full moon, the Knight of Wands, what Spirit is really saying is this is the time to trust your gut, trust your intuition, embrace the adventure, be fearless. And now is the time to take action with excitement because a lot of you could be involving or going on some travel aspects. Having travel impact your life in one way or another. This is where whatever you're starting, whatever seeds you've been planting, especially since April, new ventures are going to start to really take off and take tangible form. Now is the time to not rush, but to slow down, really cherish it. Cherish what you hold most dear. And more importantly, remember that slow and steady wins the race. This is the time, especially with the potato, that's that starch energy, right? It's going to hold you over through the cold of winter in a lot of ways. This is the time to truly get your hands into the work that you love, the work that you do, the values that you hold most dear, the love, the beauty, the prosperity, the blessings that you're calling in and writing into your life. Truly get your hands and your soul, your body, involved in all of it. So working with the energy as well. This is where we'll talk about this because this 5, had to look at that, sorry. The 5 of Cups. Let's talk about this stagnation, fixation, living in the past. Maybe also too dealing with or struggling with some immaturity in relationships and emotional coherence, right? Either from others or just with processing, right? Trauma does a lot, and trauma stays in the body in a lot of ways. This is where if you've been unable to move on from past events, this full moon is also going to be helpful for that too. So first things first though, when it comes to the Knight of Wands, everything that you've been building, this is the time to truly ground yourself and really connect your body with and your energy current, I should say too, with the earth through your feet. Meditate, dance under this full moon, connect with it, with that emotional receptivity, that instinct, because it's going to have a positive influence on you, especially when it comes to what's been weighing you down. And also too, by that grounding aspect, it's going to be helping you with releasing what you've been unable to move on from when it comes to past events that have really been stagnated in the body. That's where dancing, that movement, is also going to help with really releasing all of it. What can help as well is a release ritual. So write down your fears, your habits, insecurities, what you've been holding on to for security that now feels hollow. Write all of it down, what you want to release, the unwanted energy, and either burn it safely, Fire Marshal Bill here, safety first, or Smokey the Bear, not Fire Marshal Bill. Know what I meant, but either way, this is where either burn it safely, put the ashes back into the earth as well, or even just tear it up. Anything that you can do to essentially dissipate that unwanted energy, to fully release it from your energy field. Also too, one thing that'll really help with realigning you is a gratitude and value check. So what you can do, I just have to look at the bottom of the deck for these because there was some, I was pulled to it. Anyway, what you can do is truly look at, oh my gosh, yeah, okay, we'll talk about this. So with the gratitude and value check, this is the time under this super full moon, ask yourself, what do I truly value? What brings me lasting worth? What have I built that I want to stabilize further? Set your intentions for abundance that truly grounds you, whether it's financial, whether it's creative, whether it's like emotional, whatever calls to you at this time, especially since we had the Fool come out twice in these cards. Whatever truly grounds you to home with the Four Wands, what grounds you to your harvest, your success, your bliss, your stability, your peace, your balance, bring it into harmony by literally writing it into existence with a gratitude and value check. So ask yourself those questions during this full moon, especially as you meditate. It's going to allow you to truly release what's unwanted, really align with what is wanted, right? What brings that true security, that true safety, that allows you to tap into that unlimited potential, right? To start on a new journey with being fancy-free, with your heart as light as a feather. This is also, too, to embrace that spirit of adventure and, two, to allow yourself to step into a point of completion and shine as the hermit. Like I say, a lot of us, we could be going back to school, learning something new, moving into a teaching role. This is where, with the hermit, this is about giving and seeking guidance, mentorship, spiritual mentorship as well, and guidance. This is truly taking that time to reflect and shine the light on what's hidden so that you can allow the manifested and stand in your strength, call in your abundance, embrace every bit of your stability with strength, with support, with compassion, and know that leaning and leading with kindness is where love triumphs over hate. It's holding and having the courage to hold that harmony for your vision. Also, too, I mean, look at this. We've got the Page of Pentacles coming out. This is expecting good news on material things, being well-grounded with new ventures, staying focused, manifesting your success, especially with the Magician, new beginnings, utilizing the skills that you have, that you've worked for, that are at your disposal, the resources, the expertise, the direction, trusting your intuition, because it's on point right now, right? And knowing you've got everything within you that you need to succeed. This is truly about that Empress energy, right? And the Empress really has that divine feminine energy involved with it as well. It's that synergy, that creation numerology speaking as well when it comes to energy of the 3. This is maternal influence, material wealth, fertility, and what you put your energy into at this time and what you take action towards with mental clarity. Like I said at the beginning, this is like the rebirth of value kind of super full moon. And it will be giving you that wake-up call, the epiphany, this moment of clarity that's going to allow you to truly shine bright in everything that you build. This is where new beginnings, your vision, are going to be built on a foundation of good choice. And 2, that are aligned with your truth. And like I said before, we've got a double confirmation. This is your new beginning. There's a start of something that's been waiting for you. It's going to fill you up with wonder, with optimism, and it's going to be a bit adventurous. It's going to be exploratory, right? New areas, new lands, new experiences, new moments that truly allow you to appreciate life itself and the blessings that are in your life, that connect you with that inner stability. I will also say too, working with this energy, this is the time truly with Taurian energy. It is slow and steady wins the race. It is not Aries energy. Let's just get it real. But this is where the Taurian energy is really asking you to slow down and savor. So bringing that into the body, this is all about where working with the energy, you can take advantage of it, call it in, and really let it exalt you and envelop you by enjoying the beauty and the simplicity, right? So this could be through a nature walk, getting comfy with a good book, basking in the sun, especially if it's cold outside, with a really comfy blanket, right? Getting into a comfortable setting that lets you truly focus and open up that sacral energy. Also too, a good meal. Cannot say that enough. So this is cooking something with care. This is the day, this is the energy really, to resist the urge to rush through the moments, to rush through the day and truly cherish and savor each and every bit and manifest with rationality, with structure, with logic, standing in your authority, being objective, but also holding self-discipline, right? Especially when it comes to the presence of conflict, chaos, competition, friction, especially with the family sector being lit up with what needs to be released. If there's any disagreements, rivalry, misunderstandings, misrepresentations, this is the time to slow down, savor what's working, and release what's been weighing you down. Release the vices, the presence of temptation, the misdirection, the violence, the cheating, and that includes thoughts as well, right? That inner stability. Release all of it so that you can embody that duality of the High Priestess and more utilize this energy for healing. Also, too, especially with the devil being present here in the presence of conflict with this 5. So, another really wonderful thing about this energy is it can bring up this too much and not enough kind of energy. So one really good thing that you can do for yourself if you're feeling that push-pull, especially with the Scorpionic Sun energy and the Taurian Moon, this is basically set a boundary. So this is where, with the inner reflection of it, right? Decide one thing that you'll stop doing that drains your sense of security, whatever it is. Remember, success is 1% each and every day. It's not necessarily radical change. Uranus does play a role with a surprise that came in for this week as well. And I believe that happened yesterday without looking at my notes, as soon as Mars changed signs. But either way, there could still be that bit of a surprise, especially with this tangible result aspect with the full moon. Whatever comes in, look at what's draining you, what drains your sense of security, and decide to stop doing that one thing. Set that boundary for yourself, whether it be entangled with your relationships, with your communication, whatever prevents you from that renewal of your values, your abundance, your love, beauty, putting that simplicity of prosperity into your life, that inner stability into your life. Set that boundary and hold it firm so that you can truly focus on that High Priestess energy, right? The illumination of letting your intuition guide you with the discernment that gives you the wisdom. Release the rumination that's put you in this place of mental loop kind of aspects, right? And instead step towards the enlightenment, the spirituality, the gifts that this moon energy, this Taurian energy, allows for you, that brings you to a place, especially with our ninth house, to expand, express, and embrace tranquility and self-love in your gifts, in your influence, in the blessings, your life, in everything that you manifest in this world, in every action. Now, before we go as well, I do just want to look at our spirit animal totem. So that's a lot. Let's do a little less than that. Spirit, help clarify any additional messages that we need. Oh, thank you, sir. I don't know why I said sir, but there you be. Okay. Oh my gosh, at the bottom of the deck, yeah. And yeah, let's talk about it. Yeah. I can't stop. And okay, I promise I'll stop after this. Okay. This is where, look at this, you are stepping into a place of nobility. This is the time to truly step into your leadership with that king energy, with that divine feminine, divine masculine synergy, right? This is where it's time to truly celebrate all of your accomplishments, all that you create and manifest with humility. You're crowned with success. There's powerful forces that are guiding you. You have the ability to conquer any challenge that comes your way because you're meant for greatness. And love is your strength. Leadership is your truth, your path. Your wisdom is what's meant to inspire everyone that you meet in all your connections. And again, double confirmation, you can overcome any problem. You will naturally and easily achieve success with this full moon energy, especially as you stand in your authenticity. This is the time as well, with family being spotlighted, to truly reach out to your tribe in times of need and know that family gives you strength. Community gives you strength when you face the storm, right? Love is your uniqueness. It's the universal language. You're full of surprises. That's why people are drawn to you. Now is the time to break free from others' expectations. Just be yourself and know that you being you is truly enough. It always has been. And with the sea otter, this is really about that playful living, right? Your heart is light as a feather. So now is the time truly, again, double confirmation, release expectations and enjoy the simplicity, the blessings that come with each and every day. Let go of worry and instead just choose love. Surrender to the waves because your destiny is sure and luck is on your side. I'm just saying. This is where your bright energy is meant to shine on the world just like the super full moon. Again, let go of worry and be happy in the here and now because you've got an inner knowing that's driving you and your soul knows the way. Now is the time where it's going to be guiding you to the action that you take, the action that you make, because opportunities are here and it's protected. Especially with the black bear, you've got a guardian angel on your side. This is the time where your intuition is awakened and it's going to be guiding you. And you're surrounded under this super full moon with love. This is the time to heal with the power of love and see the light in all things and to acknowledge the self-worth and the grace that you gift this life with, that you gift the world with. Before we go to, I do just want to look at our major arcana. So also, I will say, if you guys like the way that I read, if this inspired you, by all means, you guys are what get these messages out. So by all means, please share your thoughts, put a heart in the comments below, like, share, subscribe. Let me know how this full moon is influencing you and gifting you, because there are blessings coming in. My cards are all turned around. I am multitasking poorly. I am just saying. Let me make sure I didn't mix up the decks there anymore. I kind of sandwiched them all together. Okay. But by all means, you guys make the difference. And most importantly, you guys are what makes this channel, not only just a channel, makes it a family. So by all means, just know that I love you guys so much, and your support, every bit of it, is truly what makes the world different, or what makes the world and what makes a difference. Know what I meant, not what I said. Either way. Okay, so what we pulled for music improv or music meditation, what we pulled is an E, two E's actually, an F sharp, a G sharp, and a D. And then color therapy wise, what we've got is yellows, greens, indigo, and orange. So I cannot tell you guys enough how much I am sending each and every one of you so much love and light. I hope you guys all have a beautiful super full moon. Stay tuned as well. I'll be doing a meditation video for anyone that needs it, wants to work with that energy, especially if you're doing a spiritual bath. But until we see each other again, take care, love and light, and I will see you in the next reading.